Hi, guys. Welcome to the Hidden Horror Podcast, a podcast of the lesser known horror movies. I'm Jess, here with Sean and Danny. We're going to start with part two of the Terrifier series, Too Terrified.
Well, right off the bat, I loved how this movie was a lot longer than the first one. This actually felt like a full-length movie.
Much bigger budget too.
Yeah,
You
I was
know,
just going to
it's
say, it felt like a better budget. It
but I
definitely, they added a storyline to
a
it
little bit more,
bit.
right?
I do think I like how it was longer, but I think it was a little too long.
Yeah.
Its runtime was like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
I guess they did that to give us the background character and the
They
girls.
did their best to let you get to know
Because it's
the
a whole new
characters.
cast, basically.
Yeah.
And
She's called Pale Girl, the little girl that looks like a little female.
that's right. I almost forgot about her. Yes.
How could you forget about
Ah.
She's scarier than him. That
Now,
whole
was that in
scene.
his head the whole time, or do you think she was really there? Like,
What I'm thinking is, I think that's the very first victim of Art the Clown. I'm almost positive it is.
ooh, that's a good little
Because the
twist.
first person he ever killed was a little girl at the carnival, which I don't know if you guys caught on to this. This is how the name Terrifier came about. I think it was like a haunted house in the carnival that he killed her at, and the name of that haunted house was Terrifier.
Really?
Hmm
Where
Where
did
do we
it
see that?
This is in Terrifier too.
No way. I don't
See,
even
this is why I gotta go back and
Yeah,
watch it.
I
I've
didn't
only seen it honestly once.
There's like I've watched it quite a few times, and it's just like I remember picking that up. I was like, "Holy shit!"
because
Like that's
I was getting the vibe when I saw that she was kind of like his inner demon, which was like getting him, which might be where he originated. Like, the first kill, then she becomes like his demon, and
Because I love when they're doing patty cake.
that was so
just
fun. That whole
so so strange, so strange.
But we got to talk about how the movie starts. It
It
literally
really
picks
picks
up
up. Yep.
where, there's not even an intro to this movie. It's a continuation from the first one, which I thought was brilliant because you
Mhm.
want to know what happened to the coroner in the first one.
Yeah.
Well, now you know, and it was really brutal.
Yep.
Yeah, because when the girls are at school, they even talk about the interview
Mm-hmm.
of how she got mauled,
Yep.
and the one girl's like, "If I lived like that, I would just kill
Well, that's
myself,"
a
you know.
because it's a continuation. Because when the end interview in the first one was a year from when it happened, right?
Oh, it is a full year.
It is a full,
Yeah.
That's
well,
right.
but it continues right off of the end because the end where the interview, it was a full year. And then, like, when they're talking at the dinner table, like the girl with her brother and everything, they mention how he wants, like, the little
He does
brother.
want to be Art the Clown for
Because it's a
Halloween,
1 year
right?
anniversary.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
1 year anniversary. And, like, I mean, I'm not a fan of dressing up as serial killers for Halloween, Sean.
I did. Yeah, I did last
I
year.
think it's in bad taste, but especially when it's only been like a year, I
Yeah.
can agree with her mom and her being like, bad idea. Think the public won't like that very much. But what then he in this thing is he's sitting in the laundromat, right? Like is he washing his
Well,
That's
this is
yes.
after he kills the coroner.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, when
that's
he gets
where
out.
like the new story
And
kind
again,
of
Yeah.
starts.
does he write his name on the wall again?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah. With
corner's
the
blood.
yep. And I mean, if we want to talk about brutal kills, that's a brutal kill.
That's right off the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, the tone of the movie is just set.
It's set right
Yeah.
there. Like I saw it in the theaters, and the whole movie theater in that scene, everyone was just like grunting and just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
Like
because
it's
does
already
he
a step.
take the dude's eyeball out and then
Yeah,
he tries to put it in his
he
head?
puts it in his own eye, and then he goes like, you know,
God.
like mocking the guy. It was so funny. That made everyone laugh. But then he just bashes his head in and he splits his skull open and pulls his brain out.
Oh
That's
my
right. That's right.
God.
That's like we're 2 minutes into the movie and this is
This is already the
Yeah.
first kill.
You already know it's gonna be a rough watch.
yeah.
Especially if you're not a huge like gore whore. I'm not the hugest gore whore in the world, but some of us are here. Right over here.
Yeah.
I could tell by your, your hand effects, like acting out the movie right
But my
now.
thing is though, like I don't like gore where it's like super realistic. This real quick, there's this movie, I think it's a Japanese movie called Grotesque,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about a guy that like kidnaps two like older teenagers and just has them strapped up and just cuts off body parts through the whole movie. And it's
Is it a Japanese movie?
yeah,
Yeah.
my friend told me to watch it, so I watched the trailer, and even after the trailer, I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's just too real. But
Oh. Anyway.
But
yeah,
suppose I do like realistic horror, because then that makes it more scary.
Yeah,
Because you're like, oh,
But
that
it
could
takes
happen.
just like
takes the fun out of it because you want to be scared, but you don't want to be like worried about your life constantly,
exactly.
you know?
I get it.
And then you start to have like that guilty feeling of
Because that
watching
happens,
this.
like that kind of stuff
That's
happens.
exactly. And it's not okay. It's not fun. It's not funny. Like horror movies, we have fun in our own way, but we're not like, glorifying these things that are happening to these people, you know?
But so yeah, after that scene, it introduces you to the two main characters, which is Sienna and Jonathan. They're a brother and sister. Um, Jonathan's has like an obsession with Art the Clown,
Hmm.
wants to be in for
He is,
Halloween, and he starts doing like he's digging deep with his
Yeah,
research.
he
yeah,
goes in on it.
Like
Like,
he's got a book. It's his father's book. His father, I guess, killed himself, and he was
yes.
like,
that's right.
He was an artist, right?
Like,
He
there's
was
names
always drawing.
drawings of art in it.
and he
Hmm.
has drawings of art. He has drawings of Dawn being cut in half, of Mike's head being crushed in from the first one. He
That's
Yeah.
has
right.
all these drawings. It's almost
That had happened way before like this even happened. Like he almost like his father was like
Like,
telling the future of these things,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
like
It's
what
like
you
it's all
start to
like
learn.
premonitions of like these people's deaths.
which doesn't that come to play later with
It does.
his daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she becomes that warrior.
Yeah, he
Yes.
like left her that sword, which
Yep.
she uses against Art,
Which
which
is where it gets kind of silly. I think like
it's
that whole plot and storyline, it was cool, it was fun, but it became more of like a fantasy movie to
which
me.
I
Because,
didn't like.
Yes.
but I kind of liked it because it looks like good and evil.
Yeah,
Like she was an angel from heaven trying to fight
yeah,
hell.
she looked
Yeah,
like a Valkyrie almost. I
Yeah,
mean, I liked seeing her in that
I
costume.
love her. I think she's
yeah.
very
She
pretty.
looked good in
And
the costume
and
too.
she's a good actress
She
and
is.
like
She's like my crush right now.
yeah,
Like
I do. I like her a lot. She did a huge step up. She was in, I don't know if anybody saw this, but there was a really terrible movie called Clinton Road, which I watched and I was interested in because I live very close to the Clinton Road they're talking about. Um, Terrible movie. She's great. She's beautiful. She's great in Terrifier too. This movie it was comical. Like you do have to watch it just because it is like you see
that's
recognizable faces.
probably what I'm watching tonight,
Yeah,
honestly.
you
I
should.
was like,
It's
yeah,
on
I didn't know it
Tubi,
was out yet.
Tubi.
So
But it is like it has faces you're gonna recognize. It's got Ice T in it. There's like other characters that you do know. You don't know why you know them, but you know you've seen them in places
Yeah.
before. And just it is just a shit show. It is a terrible movie. You watch it for fun. But anyway, back to
Oh,
Terrifier
here's a
2.
fun fact. Sienna in real life, she's a black belt. She's a martial artist.
oh
Really?
wow,
Yeah.
okay. So
That's
you think
awesome.
that's why she got casted for that part?
I'm
Because they
assuming so
knew.
because she's a badass in real life,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they need someone that's a badass in the movie because she's really gonna like go
Once
up against
again, final girl vibes. She got brown hair.
she does.
She's kind
She
of
does.
tough. She has like her like not girly girl. She like I said, she's cute. She doesn't dress too cute. She does. She follows the
She
rules.
got the septum piercing.
Yep, she's a little
Love that.
badass.
Love that. Anytime if I see a girl and see the same girl with the septum piercing, she just got a lot hotter. That's just my own
The
thing.
man loves his septum piercings.
Septum piercings.
Let's see. There's one thing in this movie, Terrifier 2, that I thought like there was that scene where she falls asleep in bed, they're having that weird dream. Cool scene
I love
because
that
like
scene so
it is.
much.
It doesn't make sense. Like I guess it makes sense because it's a dream, but they never fit it totally in. Like, you know how she wakes up, that thing's on
Yeah,
fire.
her
Yeah,
wig.
her
Like
wings.
why? Like that's like where you're like, what's
Again,
going on
I
here?
feel like that's more of the background of art. He's not human. It's all supernatural type of
Well,
stuff
that's
coming
the thing though,
through.
is they didn't bring too much of
You
that
know,
supernatural in the first one. So when they threw it in the second one, they're like kind of just changing the fear factor of
You know,
art.
you think maybe like because she fell asleep, and it shows on the TV that
what is she watching? What was
Hmm.
that?
it was
Wasn't
it,
it something creepy?
it was what her dream was.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I
So do you
mean,
think like maybe like Art snuck in the house and like was just sitting there watching her and then like set the thing
Set the
on
thing on
fire?
fire.
well,
Like
maybe, but maybe she really like. I was also thinking like maybe she did really forget she left candles on, and then like you know how when you're sleeping and like you hear something and then it kind of plays into your dream and then you wake up,
all
you're
the
like, oh,
time.
Hmm.
like it could have been like she was dreaming these
Doing that.
things because like her body was registering that something was on fire.
Yeah.
Also, I thought was hilarious is after when her mom is yelling at her, talking about the cat, their mom was very realistic. Like usually in in any movie actually. Like the mom is
Yeah.
always like soft parenting. Oh, are you okay, baby? Like the mom was like, no, what that was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
The
Yeah.
mom
You
was
know,
she was funny.
she was
Like,
realistic though.
yeah,
Like she's not like, oh my poor baby, it's
yeah.
not your
Are you
fault. She was
okay?
like, yo, you dumb bitch,
Yeah.
you left candles on. Cut that shit out. You could have burnt the whole house
House down.
down. You know? And then she still had like the loving mom where she's like, sleep in my room, I'll sleep on the couch. But like they showed her angry, as any mom would have actually been. It is okay to yell at your children, guys. Like
Even even like when Santa goes to open the cabinet, like the cereal falls out, she's like, "God damn it, Jonathan!" Like,
Yeah.
that is
she's
what
a real mom.
it's a stressed out mom. Like,
Yeah.
don't shame her for that. Every mom becomes this, and there's nothing wrong with it. Your kids need it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, in
Sometimes you
movies,
gotta
they
yell at
make
'em.
it like, oh, the parents are so kind. Like, or they try to almost make it look like she's a bad parent for doing that. No fucking way. She
I'm
is
a
a
parent,
real
so
mother. That is a real mom, and she is not perfect, and she is angry. And if your kid almost burns the house down, yes, you should fucking yell at them.
my kids, who I love more than anything in the world, have pissed me off so bad before, and you yell at them. It's just
You reserve the right as a parent
you're
to
not.
yell at your
Oh, it's
kids.
okay. You don't. That's how you make soft kids. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You gotta just.
There's a time for it and there's a time when not. When your
Yeah.
kids are burning the house down, you yell
Yeah.
at them. I'm sorry. It's the way it is.
Uh,
Um,
so yeah, laundromat scene, hilarious.
Yeah, but he's washing his clothes,
with the whole patty
right?
cake
He's
and
Which
watching.
is
He's
the girl just
reading.
starts peeing, right?
She's like shitting like a mixture
Blood
of
or
blood
blood
and
yeah, it was
diarrhea. It was
weird.
really gross. But where he's like just waiting for his clothes and he's reading the
with the
newspaper and you
newspaper.
just
Yeah.
see him laughing and it shows where he's laughing and it says like family dies in head on crash and
Yeah.
he's just like laughing at it like
Making him brutal, like
he's
really
such
just
a
a
terrible
person. Well,
thing,
thing
whatever he
Yeah.
now.
is.
See, I like that they actually show him out of the costume,
Yeah.
so you get to actually see his body. And you
Yeah,
would
he's like
think he's
a
kind of like
no,
bulky,
he's
ripped or
skinny,
something, but he's like twig,
skinny
right?
Yeah.
twig.
Like
It's
that
like,
all
how
those
does he?
girls should have kicked his ass.
Yeah, like how does he overpower all of these people?
Because now we're finding out he's like a magical kind of
Yeah.
thing, you know?
So he notices this little girl that looks just like him. She's in got the black lips, the black eyes, the yellow teeth, and just a dead look on her, a dead smile on her face. That's all she does is like that creepy
That smile.
smile. And she waves at him, and he like kind of waves back, like confused.
Yeah, like who the hell are you?
And then
What do
she
you
just
want?
like bloody diarrhea or something all over the floor. It was so gross. And he just like looks down at it, then looks at her, and she's just still staring at him. It was funny.
This whole movie's gross.
They end up playing patty cake together, and then
Which
it's kind of like now she's like his like little sidekick through the movie.
He's always seeing her in the corner of his eye,
Yeah,
little demon on his shoulder.
yeah, that's kind of what it is, right? Like
Yeah.
a little
it seems that way. Yeah.
Anyway.
Then there's the guy that was in the laundromat that notices him playing patty
patty
cake
cake, right?
with no one else around, and he's just like,
Like what?
Okay.
Yeah.
"Here's
See,
this."
right then and there, though, then you'd be like, okay, it's time to leave this
Yeah,
laundromat. Like,
yeah,
this guy's
absolutely.
seen shit.
Realistically, yeah.
Because now it goes to him like putting his suit back on, which is perfectly clean. All
Clean.
blood,
Yeah.
it's spotless.
Great
Um,
washing machine.
it shows him mopping
He
up.
does mop up after himself.
Well, you see the end of the mop was broken,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it shows him walk out, and then it shows the guy that saw him with just a broken mop, like the stick just through his skull, like in his mouth,
Mhm.
just Art. So obviously, it didn't show Art kill him, but you know Art just
Yeah.
fucked this
Just kill
guy
him.
up.
Nobody survives when they run into him. That's
No.
pretty much what they're trying to tell you here.
So
Following that, there's what we had like the whole Jonathan, the mom talking about him not wanting to be there, and then she's making her costume for a Halloween party.
yeah.
Yes.
And she is dead set on this costume. Like she's been working on it forever, hand making it. She's very creative.
So she has the dream, which and it ends up her wings that she worked on for like months
Months.
light on fire. They're
Yes.
gone. So she goes to
Halloween
the
store, right?
Halloween
Oh
store. I
God.
forget the name of it. It's in Manhattan though.
Yeah, that's the other
Um,
thing. Terrifier is taking place where?
uh, I looked up
Do you
where
know
it
the
was
state?
filmed.
Mhm.
Terrifier 2 was filmed in New York and New Jersey.
Okay.
It was like Manalapan, New Jersey. Um, I forget the other spot, but some of it was New York City.
Mhm.
Like the Halloween costume or the Halloween store was in New York City. I was just curious to see where it was filmed because I
Yeah.
heard it was filmed in New York.
Yeah.
It was upstate New York where they did the Dream, which had like a mass killing in it.
Yes.
He basically just pulls a Tommy gun not even a machine gun, a fucking Tommy, like an old mobster Tommy gun
Yeah.
out of his bag and just shoots like 20 people.
It was the whole dream thing was really great and really creepy. It didn't. I feel like
We
it
really
didn't
didn't need
work.
it. We really didn't
Well,
need it.
no,
You didn't need
you
it,
didn't
but
need it, but it was a good scene. And like, I feel like if it was like even like a short somewhere else, it would have been like a great clip to watch. It just was weird and
because like everybody in the dream is like happy and smiling. It's like adults
hmm
acting like children. They're on the swing set, just hanging off
yeah,
of it, just like laughing.
weird.
They're dressed like little children,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Sienna's like sitting on top of a slide, and she's the only one that's like scared.
yeah.
And that's when
Noticing something's
she's
wrong.
noticing something, and that's when the woman says she introduces Art, saying, "For someone that doesn't talk, he sure makes a lot of noise." And she says, "Welcome, Art the Clown," and he pops out of the food truck
Like
waving.
a celebrity, they're all
Yeah,
excited to
everyone's
see
going
him.
nuts. Everyone loves it. But Sienna's the only one, just like you see this look of like concern on her face, like right away, like her lips quivering, like.
Yeah, as it should
But
be. That's scary.
it's a really dark, creepy scene, and I loved it. But
I
I
do
just
love the
don't.
scene.
I want to do some more research to see
See
exactly
where
what the dream meant.
Yeah, but it could have had a more artsy feel, or
is it?
maybe they just threw it in
Is
there.
it more of like a foreshadow for her?
I think it is because like
You know?
because after she had that dream, that's when she starts running into Art. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's where she runs into him in
at the costume
the costume
store
store,
with
which
those
is a funny scene.
stupid
That was great
glasses.
though.
The
Yeah, when he
glasses,
stands there and just watches her,
Oh my
and it
god.
just doesn't move, doesn't say a sound.
and he just keeps putting different glasses on. She's trying to pay for her thing, and the guy, the cashier's like sees him, and he's just like, "What's this guy doing?" And she's
Thinking
like,
he's an idiot.
she
Like,
just keeps turning around. Every time she turns around, he has a different pair of sunglasses
Yeah.
on. There's the
oh,
sunflower ones, the ones that have like they look like hands like
Hands,
that.
yeah.
yeah.
And he's doing
Very
that. Yeah.
girly, stupid
So it's
glasses.
funny when it shows him do that, it goes back to her, and you can see him in the background. It's a little blurry. He's still just standing there like this. Then he's got the
Yes.
ones with the eyes on the springs,
Yeah.
and then he does the
And then
little spinning thing. Then he's got the kazoo, and that's when the guy tells him like, if you're gonna put
you,
your mouth on it, you got to pay for it. And you see just like come back in, and he spits it out, and he slaps it, which I thought was funny.
Stupid.
So they leave, and this is the next kill scene where he kills the
well, he gets his horn back, right?
he's
He
buying a
buys the
horn,
horn.
and he's like taking all the money out. And the cashier's getting pissed because they're like getting ready to close, and he's like digging through his change, and the guy slams on the counter and he says, "Hey," and Art like does like this little jump like he's scared. It's so funny, and the guy's like, "If you don't pay for this, I'm gonna fuck you up." And then Art takes a glass bottle, breaks it, and stabs him in the eye.
Jesus.
And then he pulls the guy over the counter and just cuts his head
That's
off.
right. He does stab him
hmm
in the face
Yeah, he
first.
stabs him
Yeah.
in the face with the broken bottle, pulls him over the counter, and then he just cuts his head off.
See, that's the one thing I do like about Art. He doesn't have a prime weapon.
He just
It's
You
whatever.
know, it's whatever he can get his hands on. He
All
kind
my
of just
weapons in his
uses,
belt.
which I think is pretty cool, to be honest. Instead of like Freddy having blades all the time, it's something different.
And I do like how just the random mother and son go up to the store and the door's locked and they're like, "Oh,
That's
it's
right.
closed." And Art's standing there holding the guy's head, and he's like, "Oh, cool." He thinks it's a prop.
Yeah.
And the guy's
Did he stick his tongue out at the kid or something, right?
he does something.
Right? He
Like
does
that.
like a funny face to the kid. Yeah.
That's wild.
So what? Now they're in the school and
It's
Oh, that's
it's
right.
just
They're like a dead
there was a dead
possum.
possum, which
that they're blaming
The kid
they're
on,
blaming
right?
Jonathan because he goes to use the bathroom and the girl and Art are in the hallway with the possum.
well that
And then
yeah, I didn't understand this scene either. Like, are they like what? I don't know. I don't even know how to.
It's almost
I
like because the mother and Sienna think Jonathan has like some like mental
Something wrong with him because
issues.
he's googling all the serial
Yeah.
killers.
So I kind of feel like Art did that to like make it look like he really does have issues,
Yeah.
and it wasn't him. It was
I mean, I think he still kind of has issues,
Yeah.
but I mean, we're all googling the serial killer too. So
Yeah.
who are we to talk?
so. I think instead of like really getting too deep into this movie, let's just start talking about like the kills and stuff like that in order.
Who wants
Next
to address the best kill?
next up
That
was
best-
Allie.
Was
And-
that
Was it
big?
Allie next?
yeah,
I
because
feel like wasn't there somebody? No, wasn't it the mother?
no, she's more towards the end.
Okay.
Was this the Allie was the best kill?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I am.
Yes.
She's
We
the
all
best.
we didn't even talk about what the best kill was, but we already know,
We know
what
what the best kill is.
I don't even know if I want
Which
to say
I'll
best.
have to say,
That's-
they
'Cause-
upped it from the first movie.
Oh yeah.
You know,
'cause-
it's like the first movie kill. It's like, okay, where can you go from this? And then they just
Because
And it's
Allie
like, what?
Allie was with Sienna at the costume shop,
Mhm.
and she saw Art there, And then Art comes and knocks on her door for trick or treating, and she's like,
That's
"Aren't you
right.
guys from the costume shop?" And he says, "Yes." Well, shakes his head yes,
He
and
ain't a
he keeps saying
liar.
he wants candy, and she's like, "I don't give candy to adults." Then she finally does, and she sees all the weapons in his bag, and then now she's scared. So she's getting ready for
The
the
Halloween
Something.
Halloween
party. Yeah.
party, and she hears a noise. She notices her sliding back doors, the glass door is smashed open, and then she sees Art in the kitchen drink a glass of water, and he
He's
has like
thirsty.
scissors and like a knife in his hand. He just like goes like that, and she runs up to her bedroom. He
Which, yeah,
catches
the
her.
glass door is open.
Run out.
Walk
It
through
could
the
have been.
glass, go through the glass door again.
It could have been blocked though,
I
or
don't know.
locked. I don't know.
Either way, I'm just saying, like, this scene was too long, too gross. I
It
literally
was.
had my eyes closed
It's
for it was
It was
disgusting.
fake because she would have been dead way before that.
way
Yeah.
before any of that's.
Like even when they come back to her at the very end and she's sitting on the bed,
She would have been dead.
we won't give it away, but you'll see her sitting there kind of alive still.
She
It
would have been
is
dead.
there's
Been dead.
I
So
mean,
he starts off by catching her and like slicing like right down here
Her
and
eye,
cutting
right?
her eye and
Yeah.
everything. Then he like pulling her hair and he takes scissors, gets the scissors in her, and just cuts like her forehead,
all of it.
Scalps
It
her,
was
right?
too
Just
much.
scalps
pulls her
her,
whole scalp off,
I personally thought it was
and then
way
throws
too.
her on
This
the
is
bed.
why the
he
movie was
throws her on
two
the
hours
bed, and
long. Is this one scene?
he starts like cutting her with he starts cutting her back open.
Oh, that's
Then
right.
he flips her open, breaks her one arm off. She's just sitting there screaming.
Which is? Do you think that's possible? The
No,
way he did it.
I don't think you're breaking someone's arm off like that.
Like I understand the joint, you can dislocate
Yeah,
You
that,
can break it, but he just breaks
and
it
then it
and
rips right
rips
off.
her arm right off.
well, that's the magical thing back in there.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of things. Like he also shot himself through the head and
Yeah, that's true.
got up and washed his clothes like nothing
But
happened.
then
So
he takes her other arm by like grabs the fingers here and
That's
here
right.
and splits her arm
yeah,
open. That's
again, too much,
Yeah.
too much.
That's not possible. That's gonna just break your fingers and maybe that's what's
Yeah, because you know how strong you probably have to be to rip someone's hand like that.
yeah. I just don't think it's possible. I don't think
Impossibly
it's
strong.
like physically. I don't think it's physically possible.
I mean, I guess anything's possible, but it was fucking disgusting. And this, I
So he
like.
he runs. So then he like runs out of the room, and then you can see him start like cutting her with the knife again, blood shooting on the walls.
Yeah, yeah. You just start
Just
slicing her back up, right?
There was too much blood. There's not this much blood in the body.
I
I
have to
don't
say,
think it was nuts. It
it's a
was
gruesome scene, but it kind of made me laugh when he ran out and then ran back in with salt
Because
and
it
alcohol.
runs.
ugh,
I thought that
So
was kind of goofy-ish
he
because you just
leaves and she hears her phone ringing and she's like crawling on the floor trying to get to her phone. Like, first of all, how are you gonna answer? You're missing an arm, your other one's split in half. Like,
yeah.
you can't even answer it. And then you see him run back in and it was salt and bleach.
Oh, bleach. I
Yeah.
thought it was alcohol. Okay.
So he starts pouring all the bleach on her, laughing, and then he's like sprinkling her with salt. Then he takes like a handful and just smashes it in her back where he just cut her. And then you see him like pull her face right here and just pull half her face off.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
now half her face is missing. Now it goes to her mother gets home. She starts freaking out. She sees the broken door. She goes up to her bedroom. This mother is the worst fucking actress. Oh my god, her screams, the way, and just I laughed so hard. So she walked in the bedroom and Allie's on the bed with Art, and now she's filleted. Like her legs have.
filleted. Why did
Hey,
you
good-
say
yeah, good
that?
word.
That's exactly what it was. He's like filleting her legs.
Yeah.
She's just laying there and just
Oh,
taking it. And the mom's screaming. And then she looks at her mom and says, like, "Mom," or something like,
Yeah.
"No, you are dead."
no
You-
way.
There's no way she would have died as soon as she got scalped probably.
You-
with an arm coming off,
Yeah.
she would have died.
You're done.
No, you're gonna okay. You guys are gonna watch this movie, and you are gonna remember not a single thing about it
But that
except for
kid-
this
yeah.
kill.
Yeah.
That's it. So like,
They
if
made
you want to
meme-
watch it, watch it. If you want to just Google that one scene, you might as well because that's the only thing you're gonna
They
remember.
made like memes of it. There was one that said like me, what was it? Me seasoning my Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh.
It's him like rubbing salt on her back.
So disgusting. Oh my god.
But the mother just comes in. She's like, "Oh no, no!" Like her acting is so bad.
Yeah,
And
It's bad.
the scream she does is like a scream from a 1970s horror movie, like a low budget horror movie. It was laughable. And he ends up killing her. Doesn't show her how, but like kids go trick or treating at the house.
I thought that was actually pretty cool
And
how he does
he
that.
has her head just like
Mhm.
completely hollowed out with the candy in it, and they're like, "Oh, it's so cool!"
Yeah.
And it's the mother's head.
And then the kid wants to pick 2 pieces of candy and he slaps the kid's
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah. All right. So the next kill, I think the next kill was what the hell was her name? The she's kind of like the dumb blonde.
The friend that she went to the party with, right?
Yeah,
In the
the boyfriend.
car.
So
Well, she gave her like
No,
also drugs,
is
right?
that the next kid?
I think
I
it
think that
was.
was the next kill because then I think the mother.
Yeah, that's on. Yeah, where's the
I
mother
think the
come in?
mother is actually the final kill of the movie.
No,
I
okay.
thought she
Yeah.
was the last kill of the movie.
Is she the last kill?
Yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah, so this girl, she's running from art. They go to Terrifier, the actual haunted house thing, and because
She
Sienna gets a call
from her brother, right?
from her brother, but it was the little girl doing his voice,
Kind of creepy.
and because they did capture him, but now they
Mhm.
want Sienna too. So they go to the haunted house, and the girl's being chased by Art. Well, first, before she goes in to try to find Sienna, so now the boyfriend's alone. He's taking a piss,
That's
and
right.
Art
That's right.
like rips his dick off.
Yeah,
I
cuts
didn't.
it right off.
I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't like him anyway. He was kind of
Yeah.
dick, so like I was pretty excited that he killed him.
He just-
You know, he does. He.
That's
I
a
felt
bad way to go.
he was a
Like,
he was a good one to kill off. I didn't want him there.
Yeah.
They ripped off the dick.
Yeah. So
The
the
dick.
boyfriend
doesn't he write like
goes-
just a tip on the window, which is kind of funny?
Did they?
Yeah, I think he does it like in the fog or whatever. Yeah.
So yeah, they rip, but you don't even know if he died because all he did was rip his dick off.
He's bleeding out. He's
Yeah, yeah, because they were drinking and stuff too,
Yeah.
and alcohol makes your blood thinner when you drink. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was gonna die
Yeah.
anyway. They were in an abandoned theme park. He's not getting help.
so now he's. I really wish I remember the girl's name. I don't know why I forget what her name is, but Art's chasing her through the haunted house. And in the beginning of the movie, in the coroner's office, he takes a jar of acid.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So she's like saying like, "Stay away from me." He has her cornered in like a bathroom, and he just pulls the acid out and throws it on her, and that makes her basically like kind of just fall to the ground.
Terrible way to go.
But then he takes, I think it's like a spiked bat or something.
Yeah,
and,
which you do see him making, right? Like in
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie.
and he like caves her chest in with it.
Doesn't he knock
Just-
her knee off too, though? First,
I think he might.
right? He just
I need to watch it again.
Perfect
sound effects.
Sounded just like that, actually.
That's to me. That's probably like the second worst death
yeah.
in the movie. That's a pretty bad one. That's just a bad way to go.
Yeah, because your face is melting from the acid.
Yeah. Well, after
You know,
that,
it's-
it brings him into where, you have Sienna fighting him with, like, fighting for her and her brother's life. And I felt like this scene was also very dragged out.
Yeah,
The fight,
went on for a little too long.
the whipping and, like, all that was just...
Well, now that I think about it, I think actually the mother's death did come before
Right, that kill. right?
because Jonathan is the one that finds his mother.
And that's when they get him.
Yeah.
Right.
Get her, yeah.
So the mother for some reason is just in the garage sitting in her car. I don't know why.
No, she
No, it
goes
was-
to the car because she hears a noise,
And it was trash.
and
she
yeah,
blamed the...
and she thinks
Oh,
it's
it was
his
covered
son
in like
shaving cream or
shaving
something,
cream or
right?
something. Yeah,
Mhm.
And I think
it
she wrote a bad word, right? What's
I don't
I think it said,
asshole or bitch or
I think it said like
something
bitch
on
on it
there?
or something like
Yeah.
that. So she's now sitting in the car, and then
Well, she goes to clean the car. Art's sitting in it
is it? I thought she
Yeah.
was sitting in the car for
because
some
I
reason.
think the window's all covered, and she goes to wipe it, and then boom, Art's there with the shotgun.
Okay. Yep.
And then boom.
Boom again with the
I
sound
had it
effects.
backwards for some reason. I thought that like she was sitting in the car, and then like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. So she wipes it, and yeah, and then he just blows her head off with
Yes.
the shotgun. Which my coworker thinks that was the most brutal death in the movie.
No
I'm like,
way!
Mm-mm.
way.
That's a
How-
quick death. It's a
There's
quick death.
that happens in so many movies. People get their heads blown.
The
off,
most
but-
brutal. How? There's no way that anyone could say that was
No.
more brutal than that one scene. There's no movie that has anything more brutal
That
than
was
that one
just
fucking.
insane. But it didn't look super realistic, which made it
Not
kinda-
at all.
Yeah.
So
But anyway, back to that long drawn out end scene, really, with Sienna fighting, fulfilling the father's prophecy, which I thought was
See,
like getting
that's-
kind of corny,
yeah.
but it was fun. It was like I feel like it was like 10 minutes of
Yeah,
them
it was
fighting.
a
Like it was
long time.
long, and there was like the whole whipping thing with that chain, and like every time you hit her, I've like felt it, and I was like almost getting mad. I'm like, all right, how many times are you gonna hit her? Like do something else.
But then girl power, she stands up and she grabs it.
Yeah.
right? And then starts
I
whipping him.
was I was kind of hoping he was going to kill Jonathan. Honestly, I thought he was super annoying in the whole
It
That's
movie.
kind of
he was
pointless.
annoying, but he's a little boy, okay?
Well,
Whatever.
I mean,
he
they're
should have.
already like after every other limit they pushed. I don't know why they
Dark
wouldn't have
Tide, they
killed
killed
him.
off two little girls,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and they were younger. So
see,
fuck it, kill Jonathan. He's fucking annoying.
he was annoying. I will give you that. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, because then they go
He like throws her like
someplace
into
else, right?
some.
Like
There was some pit, like
She's
some
like
magical
falls into
pit.
like water or something like
right.
that, and
I thought it
she's
was supposed to be like the depths of like hell or something. It almost gave me like she was falling into.
it's like she's drowning, and she's I feel like she's in the water for like minutes, and then she just like comes to, and then like hops out of the water, and
But she wasn't like she fell in a hole, but I don't think there was water in the hole. It was like then it would flash to her like floating in water. No.
is that what it
Like
was?
I think it was like it was her supposedly dying, and this was her in the water, like in her head,
Like,
and then she
come
crawls out of
back.
this hole. But I don't think there was like was there even water in the actual hole, or was that all in her head?
Shoot.
I don't know.
Right? I think I don't.
Yeah.
I think it was like the water was in her head,
It
and then
was
she
so
just.
confusing.
That's
It's
what I
just
they were tying in. I feel like they had a whole bunch of good ideas and just didn't know how to tie them
Yeah,
together, so they just threw that shit
because when
together
she
and
comes
made it a
back up,
movie.
she gets the sword, right? Is
yeah.
that where she finds the sword?
Yeah, well, I think didn't she like lose the sword and then she had the sword again? Because she had the sword from he did like from when she left to the party. No, didn't she? That was like part of
Well,
her.
didn't it get burnt?
The
Right?
sword didn't get burned.
No,
Is
it's the
that
only
what it
thing
was?
that
That's
Right?
what
didn't get burned.
survived.
Okay.
Everything else got burned, but the sword survived. It was like mint.
Yeah,
But
I just don't remember her carrying the sword with her to the party.
I mean, I hope she didn't. I hope she
die
didn't.
or
Yeah.
something.
Either way, like you should not be allowing a real sword into a
Yeah.
Halloween party. That's a terrible idea, but.
Do drugs, do crazy
And
shit.
she did drugs, and her friend did
Yeah, her
drugs,
friend
and they were
put.
having a great
I think
time.
her friend
Oh,
said she put Molly in
Molly
it
in her drink.
Yeah,
That's right.
because she was like feeling so good, and
I was happy for her. She needed to feel good.
yeah,
You know, she
Do you
had a
think that
rough
Molly
time.
saved her then?
It might have. Maybe it was all just
You
a
know,
like. Maybe she was just really high the whole time, and none of
and
this
not
actually
that
like
being
happened.
happened.
pregnant.
Yeah, it was just her daydreaming about like this terrible event that happened in their town a year ago. Oh,
But
maybe.
during her battle with Art, she ends up cutting his head off with the sword,
Which I
and
thought that was kind of funny because, like, right before the kill shot that she gave him, he goes,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and then it just boom.
So so now Art the Clown's dead. Yeah. So um, everything's good now. Everything's okay. No more Art the Clown. Credits roll. Goes to an extra scene. I'm so glad that I like didn't feel like getting up out of my seat in the movie theater. I was waiting for the crowd to leave just because it goes to the next scene, which has Chris Jericho. If you guys know, he's
Which
Yeah.
I heard he's a
pro wrestler.
huge fan of Art the Clown.
He's
So he
I'm
wanted to be
assuming.
in the movie.
hmm
They just threw in
So
that little
he
cameo.
probably wanted to be in the movie, and Damon Leone was like, "Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah.
Chris Jericho, like, hell yeah!"
Perfect.
So it's like at him and there's another girl that work at a mental institute, and it shows Victoria, the girl
Yes.
that got her face eaten, which was Tara's sister from the first Terrifier, and she's just being all sorts of weird, and she's pregnant. So I don't know how it happened, but she fucked Art the Clown or what, but
Demon baby.
so she starts like bleeding out, acting all crazy, and she's having her baby like right there in the room. And then it ends up showing her holding the baby. She's fine, and the baby is the head of Art the Clown,
Oh,
which I was just
silly.
like,
Again,
all right,
silly.
well,
That's.
Terrifier 3 is
He's
coming
it's
hmm
reborn, yeah.
It was just, I think she's gonna play a major part in Terrifier 3.
So that was actually one thing. Do you think Terrifier 3 is going to continue on with Sienna's story, or do you think they should start with just a new group of people to
Here's
terrorize? Because I feel like the thing is like with him in the first couple, like the All Hallows Eve and the first Terrifier movie, is he wasn't really picking like it was he didn't have his mindset on one
Yeah.
person. Like it
yeah,
was really anyone he came in contact
yeah,
with, he was
Hmm.
killing. So like the second one made it almost like he was stalking this one girl and
yeah,
she was what he wanted.
yeah.
And then he was just going to kill anybody that got in the way of that. So like are you like I'm trying to figure out if in Terrifier 3 they're going to continue with that and like have him just keep stalking her or if they're going to just bring in some new people.
What I'm hoping for is I hope Terrifier 3 is an origin story because I really want to know where Art the Clown
I'll
came
come from.
from,
hmm
what he is. like what his motive is. Is his motive just to be a killing machine? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I like that too, but I like the mystery of it, of not knowing where he's coming
yeah.
from.
Hmm.
So it's like I do want an origin, but I'm
One
okay
of-
if they don't do it.
If they do it, they need to do it well.
Yeah.
One of my friends said that they saw like a script leak online somewhere, like Reddit or something, which it's
Yeah,
honestly
it's
super
interesting.
shit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But they said that it's gonna be the story of Pale Girl. It's gonna be who she is and where she
Okay.
came from, which would be cool, but I'd prefer if she got her own separate movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could do a
Like,
spin off. I wouldn't mind
Mhm.
that.
yeah, if it was like a spin-off, I would like that, but I just really want an origin story.
I think it would be better if they
Even
do
if
an
like
origin story.
even if he just made a short, like I don't
Mhm.
know. Like it doesn't have to be Terrifier 3. It could be like,
Just
like
art.
like the birth of art or
Yeah.
something like that. Because my one friend said he heard that art is like a demon from another planet or something like
The
that.
planet.
Giving them alien vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
So
I don't know. Guess we'll see
you
what
never
they
know.
do.
I'm hoping for an origin story. We'll
You
see.
know?
I think it'd be cool to have him stalk another group, but then like Sierra finds out
And goes
like
and saves
she
them.
goes
And
like I got this, like
yeah.
I can go save
I
you.
feel like that would be too basic
You don't
to
think
throw it
so?
together
That way
like
she's
that.
like the hero.
She's
No,
I like her, so I'd
women,
like to
women
see
power.
her,
Come on
but
now.
I definitely see more of her, but that's just me.
for the wrong reasons, but it's fine.
No, it's the right reasons.
It's the right ones.
It's funny, my friend was over on Sunday and he's never seen the Terrifier movie, so I was like, I'm putting on Terrifier 2. Like I'm not even gonna go to Terrifier 1.
Hmm.
And we wanted to go out with the cameras and it was like the sunset was coming, so I was like, let me show you Allie's kill real quick. He's like, all right, and he's like, and then I want to see the girl in her costume too. I'm like, all right, so I fast forward to Allie's kill, and after the first part, it goes back to Sienna's home with her and her mother in her costume. I was like, oh, there you go. And he was
Right
just
there.
like,
Didn't even have to look for it.
yep. And he was just getting all like obnoxious because that's how he is. But
Oh my god.
he's one of
Fucking
those.
men.
But
Get me out of
he's
here.
he's a man.
I don't want to listen to these men anymore.
So yeah, that's Terrifier.
That concludes the episode. We want to hear what you guys would think about the Terrifier 3 too, by the way.
Yeah, we left out a lot. We pretty much covered all the kills, but
Kills,
we
big
left out
kills.
a lot of things. There's a lot of humor in it, a lot of dark stuff.
See, that's what I love though in horror is I love a little humor.
Oh yeah,
You know,
You need it.
certain movies I don't like humor, but
I think it just works.
When
so
it's like
well,
the
you
low
know?
budget hidden horror, you
it
need
gotta
it.
put it in
there's
there.
got to be the humor in it.
Yeah.
Like even I don't know, Evil Dead Rise. I
Yeah,
really
there's
loved, and
a couple parts
there
of
was some
funny.
humor in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was definitely some humor to that. But so yeah,
That's it.
episode 3. Yeah, that's episode 3, but episode 2, part 2 of episode.
Terrifier, yeah.
Excuse me.
It's a tongue twister.
This is
It's
the
episode
sequel
It's episode 2.
to our Terrifier series.
So
And that
part
concludes it.
2 of episode 2, but it's episode 3. So I hope you guys liked it. Definitely check out Terrifier 1 and 2 if you haven't. Watch them in order. They should be watched in order
You know,
because
All
of
Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve. If you really want to just see the premiere of Art the Clown, you can watch it.
It's not necessary though.
It's not super necessary. I actually watched Terrifier 1 and 2 before All Hallows
So
Eve.
did I.
Mhm.
I did the same thing.
And I think the only reason I watched All Hallows Eve, I was looking for something to watch, and on the cover, it's Art the Clown.
Yeah.
And like I say, he wasn't even the biggest part of the movie.
And he was never meant to be, I don't
Yeah.
think. But the crowd spoke and they wanted him, and they gave us him, and they gave us him in a big way.
It's crazy. Apparently, like the budget for Terrifier 1 was like $30,000 maybe, which was
Is nothing.
funded by
Nothing.
all the actors and
Mhm.
Mhm.
producers. Terrifier 2, the budget was 250,000, but it was completely fan funded.
That's awesome.
And it grossed, I think, 16 million in the theaters.
16 mil.
Yeah. They made a lot of money off of it.
That's
So
They said they're making a third, right?
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
coming.
it is. The
Yeah.
third's coming.
yeah, it's like it's in the works right now. They didn't start filming it yet, but it is in the works, and it's gonna be a much bigger budget this time.
Mhm.
Which I kind of hope they don't.
Go too overboard.
I I don't want the production quality to look like it came from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
That
like
takes away from the
I
horror
like the
movies in
campy B
general.
look, like the not amazing effects. Like
See, that's what I think sets art apart It's not a Michael movie that you have like a Warner Brothers backing
That's
you
what
up.
sets
Which I don't
So
want.
that's what sets all the hidden horror movies apart is that it's not high budget. It's
Yeah.
not from
Yeah.
Hollywood. It's not all that CGI and all that other shit that they throw in there.
because I feel like that's what kills the
It
movies
does.
and franchises.
It does.
There was one part of in Terrifier 2 that I think used CGI, and that was in the dream when he's got the little fire launching thing, the
Mhm.
flamethrower,
Okay.
and he shoots it at Cien and she blocks it with the sword. I think that was CGI.
I mean,
I don't think
probably.
that was practical effects, but everything else, all the kills, it was all practical.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, video blood. It's like, fake blood, of
Fake
course, but unless they were really killing people, but I don't think they were.
That would be a little
A
creepy.
little too real. So, yeah, we don't know where we're going with our next episode yet, do we? What
No.
we're gonna do, we'll figure it out, and
I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you like and subscribe, and let us know what you want next.
yeah, leave
Oh,
comments,
isn't it
share.
Dead Silence?
I think we are gonna do Dead
We
Silence.
are gonna do Dead Silence. I do have to
Um,
watch it.
because we did have someone recommend that.
If there's movies you guys want us to do, just leave it in the comments, and we will do it. We just want to make you guys happy. We have so much fun doing this. Even if they're movies that we end up not liking, we'll still do it.
Yeah.
And we'll still love some things about it.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be movies that we're gonna laugh about because they're so shitty, but we wanna.
We want to do it. We
We
want to watch
yes.
the shitty ones.
Yes. I enjoy the shitty ones.
I
to
love
be
the shitty
honest.
ones.
We got to do Cocaine Shark.
Oh, I saw that the other
Shark.
day.
Did you watch it?
No, I
I
didn't.
I made it 5 minutes in. I was like, I can't even watch this.
There's actually Sharks of the Corn too. Sharks of the Corn. I'm gonna watch that.
Cocaine Shark, like the cover looked exactly like Cocaine Bear, but it's a shark and it says
Oh my
Cocaine Shark.
God.
And I think the budget was $2,500.
Love it.
It is
Love it.
horrible.
Wait, Tubi?
Was it too? No, it might have been Prime actually. I think I saw
Oh.
it.
No, I know it's on Tubi.
It is.
No,
on
it is on- it
Tubi?
is on Tubi.
I thought I saw it on Prime too, but maybe not.
Yes.
Maybe that was Sharks of the Corn. That might have been Sharks of the Corn.
It's just like this. I don't know. I guess like this mad scientist tries fusing like different animals together, and there's like, it's like a crab shark. Like,
Oh my God.
fuck, I don't even remember what they were, but it was like three different like monsters in it, and terrible, so bad, terrible acting, terrible effects. Like we could make a movie better than that, like 100%.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we'll make a movie.
fun.
We got some like spooky places around here.
We sure do. Like the actual Clinton Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a few minutes.
We got like Middletown Psych Center, all sorts of places. So, all right, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We did. We had a lot of fun doing it. So, like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, family, your coworkers, everyone. So,
Thanks, guys.
see you next time.
Bye bye.